Again, I work at Design Group. We are a digital service design and development agency based out of Denver, Colorado. We do amazing work with amazing organizations such as Stanford University. Richland Library, the city of Raleigh, and the Museum of Contemporary Art in Denver, just to name a few. We do work that matters. All right, so progressive decoupling. So, what's progressive about decoupling? I mean, let's back up a second. What's decoupling? So, Drupal is it handles both the back and front end. It's mostly based in PHP, and it has its own templating system. So you don't necessarily need to decouple anything, though Drupal does have a lot of decoupled aspects to it, including the new layout builder, among other things. So a full decoupling would be if you had just Drupal handling just the back end, just the content management, and you pass all of it to the front, and Twig had nothing to do with it. It was just fully handed off to a JavaScript framework like React, Node, or Angular. But you can also go incremental, and that's what we're talking about today, progressive decoupling. You can have just one aspect of your site be decoupled, or a few sections of your website be decoupled. So let's talk about Drupal. Why would you decouple at all? Drupal's amazing. We all love Drupal. It does quite a bit already. So Drupal has so much inside of it. Is there one? Yeah, there's more. Great. Again, the templating engine, Twig, it has so many APIs. Just think of an API, it's in there. It handles everything, authentication, roles, permissions, amazing routing API. It's a full package manager, composer, and it's extremely accessible thanks to the tireless efforts of the core team and anyone working on the show. One, two, three. All right. So we also want to talk. I just want to mention just why you might want to not decouple. If you have a great Drupal team, why fix something that's not broken? If you have experience with the front end of Drupal, just don't do it. Every time you add an entirely new framework, you're basically doubling the resources that you need to maintain. If you have cried about updating Drupal core every month for security reasons, as I do, you might not want to get into NPM at all because there's a lot of that too. There's a lot of refactoring. If you ever had to move major versions of React, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so if you're working with a client and they already know Drupal, then just stick with Drupal. But now, if you want to decouple, here's some of the reasons. Well, I like that I didn't do any animation on that much. So React is, or any JavaScript framework, there's a lot of amazing expressive frameworks out there. If you have a website that needs to work as a single page application, which we'll look at in just a second, this is a really good opportunity for you. Yeah, let's, I mean, you know why. So we'll look at some demos and we'll kind of just talk out why you might want to decouple. So I want to start with Stanford Summer Session, which is a really beautiful site. All right, check this out. Nope, don't check that out. Nope. Like you can almost kind of see it, and then it just goes away. I thought I had it figured out. We'll just hear it for a second. All right, so summer.stanford.edu. Most of it is built in Drupal 8, except for basically this one page, the tuition and fees calculator. Now this is based on, this is using Vue.js, and we are passing a node through, and it's made up of paragraphs and fees for each level. So you can see there's it's very smooth. You choose and then it calculates it, and you can attend Stanford for the summer for $8,700. And then it breaks it down, everything that I just chose. Easy peasy. Right.
That's a quick question.
Yeah.
Really basic question. Is there any difference between progressive decoupling and simply putting JavaScript libraries and making JavaScript calls?
Yeah, so the question was, is there a difference between progressive decoupling and just including the JavaScript? No, I'd say that they're just two flavors of the same thing. So the idea behind this is, again, here's the page. It's edited in the way that you would expect. Paragraphs just added, you put in the amount, and then what we're doing here, I hope you can read that, is we're getting the current route and then serializing and normalizing the node. So it's being passed through basically as an array to the Drupal settings. And then we're including the markup here, div ID equals calculator, and that's where Vue is going to come in. Then we're attaching all of that compiled JavaScript as a library. And then on the Vue end, we're looking for that calculator element and then building out that app. If you like code, here's some code. All right. So it's really just as easy as taking information that's already in Drupal as a node and just doing something else with it. So let's look at the Museum of Contemporary Art in Denver. This one I can't do a live demo because there's a lot of personal information involved. The Museum of Contemporary Art runs a program called the Octopus Initiative. And it's there, if you haven't been to the Museum of Contemporary Art, it's really incredible. They're one of the most progressive and fun brands out there. They're doing amazing work. What they're doing with the Octopus Initiative is they are actually funding local artists to create art, and then you basically lend it out
You know, I think I should look at this for a second. Right. Okay, you know what? We're not going to do that. Because I can't, this is really confusing. All right. Anyway, so you go to the website, and as a resident of an eligible, you know, Denver county, or zip code, or whatever, you go and you see the art that's currently available for this month's lottery, basically. You create an account and you know, click the little heart, and that's hooked up to the flag module, and it creates an entry for you. And once a month they go through and it picks using React winners and losers, and then sends out the emails. So what they're doing with React is actually on the back end. They go through and they you know, pick winners, and then it just handles all of that, and then shows you all of the winners, losers, and so how this works on the back end is another way to get data from Drupal is using the GraphQL module. What that is doing is if you don't want to deal with pushing out Drupal information, you can simply pull it by using GraphQL. So if you're familiar with GraphQL at all, you can basically not involve any back-end stuff. So it's basically a way, it's like JSON API. You say, I want nodes, I want this type of node, and I only want these fields. Yeah. So I mean, this going on here. It's yeah, here it is. Here's the GraphQL. So you can see it says fragment, thumbnail, and media. So you want, you know, the thumbnails. You only want the title, you know, the alt text, and the actual URL itself. All right. Let's talk about Richland Library. That's what I'm excited about. So rough. Richland Library. There are so many uses of React on here that I'm not even going to remember them all, and I actively work on this website. So one of the major things that they're using React for is their catalog search. So what this is doing is we've created a custom route that sends through this query, and it gets quite advanced. You can query on several things, and this is all React. This is using the material UI library. Passes through, it creates the query and passes it through, which then passes it on to what is called an ILS, an integrated library system. They're using one called Polaris, so it's decoupled, I guess, twice. The main reason is, you know, libraries have, you know, a million items, like literally a million items. And these ILS provide ways to get that, and then also combine that with patron information, who has what out, etc. So you send in a query, And it not only returns the information that you want, it's also getting that availability data. And then we're having it count over here how many in each publication year format. So there's that aspect to it. And then we're also, we've developed a contrib module called Intersect. That is on drupal.org /project/intersect. That handles events, including event registration. It includes room reservations, equipment reservations. It's very featured. There's a lot going on. Let me do that. So we have not only this calendar view, which is using the big calendar library. This also comes. So there's also this list view, and these are actually events that are going on today at Richland. So this is actually using a different aspect. This is passing the query on directly to JSON API. It's translating the filters to JSON API and then getting those results back and translating them into these lovely teasers. And then getting registration data, you can actually go through and register right here. I just want to highlight this one for a second because this is maybe the smallest thing I can think of when we talk about progressive decoupling. This almost looks identical to that events listing, except for one thing. Almost none of this is in React. The part that's in React is right here. These two buttons are the only thing that are in React. This is a view, and Brandon's done a beautiful job of matching these two looks to each other. You can almost not tell the difference. So this is basically just when you load this up, there's a pre-process hook that is going in and adding just, again, if you've ever worked with React, you make like one div container and you put the ID in there and then React knows to look for that and put that in. So we're also passing in the reservation ID itself. And so we know that it's the status on that reservation. It's a custom entity and the status is approved. So we know because I'm logged in as admin, what I can do here is approve with an approved reservation, deny it or cancel it. So let's take one that's already denied and click. Yeah, thank you. Click approve. And what that did was it just sent in a very small call to Drupal that says, take this reservation and mark it as approved. And then it comes back and says, great, I know it's approved. Now here's your options. And it's as easy as, do you want to cancel it? Yeah. Request it. And this is on local. I'm not messing with anyone's data. Liability. What else do I got here? Oh, and then we have room reservations. Now this is fully in React. This entire area, this is, again, using material UI, you can filter down by location. You can see that is updated, only include Valentine. And then you can click on available now and it'll only show you rooms that are available right now. Yeah, let's get back to this. So I would say that one of the best things about using Drupal with React is that you can just create custom routes extremely easily and pass in whatever parameters you want. So for the API working with the ILS, you can just pass in the current user and then whether or not they should renew or place a hold, and Drupal just takes care of it on the back end and returns a response, and you just show, update in real time what that response was. So this is basically what you get back from Polaris. This would be the response to placing a hold. I think in this instance it's canceling a hold. Yeah, okay. that was it. All right.
Did anyone have any questions?
I don't know what time it is. Yeah.
I really love your usability. I'm curious. I guess you could kind of do some Ajax, like you were saying before, like how come you chose React?
The question was why did we choose React? Just do you mean versus other JavaScript frameworks, or
We really just create something other. I love these choices, but I am curious because I know some places it's just Drupal, and yeah, do some crazy Ajax stuff. Don't ever speak to a GraphQL database.
right? I would say just as a personal opinion, I'll tell you that I think in this case the actual reason was that the client really wanted to use React. But if I had to choose why I go with React, it is again, it's an expressive language, and what I mean by that is it's buzzwordy. Then you can just say, this is a calendar, and I wanted to show, these specific things. If you're really into front-end development, that's a really good way to utilize your strengths without having to really dig into Drupal. React is especially, there's so many node libraries that simply aren't ported over for Drupal or just in general aren't really intended to work outside of like a React app. And that was the case, especially with Material UI and some of these things like big calendars. I believe there's a feature not a big calendar. It's just easier if you're already in the React framework to build some of these things. Yes.
So I might be following that we're moving some of our admin screens to React. Is that okay on that, or are you following that?
I am not following that, but you should tell me. All right, who knows?
It's going very, very slow.
Okay, yeah.
There's a guy on my team that's guiding it. Has a lot further along.
It's mainly Daniel Wayne herself. Right.
It sounds like people are struggling to get it
I think, when did Dries present on Layout Builder for the first time at DrupalCon? Was that 2 years ago? And now Layout Builder is no longer an experimental module for. So that's, without any other information, that's probably about how the other stuff is going to.
Yep, any other questions? What's going on here? Yes.
I was trying to follow the architecture to achieve that.
Mhm.
And it sounds like you're loading. And I had an idea for similar projects, so calculator. Why do you, as opposed to say,
That is a good question, and that, all right.
I know the answer to that.
Yeah, go right ahead.
But it's just you and what you might or that particular. Like you would, using React, you're like building 10 tasks. That's your question.
yeah, I'm not sure what my question is.
Yeah, I think just as we move forward, we're using a lot more React for things. Yes.
And then maybe one other thing just to add is that I remember 2.5, 3 years ago, Dries was thinking toward Ember for that, and he thought that that was where we were going, and then maybe 18 months later, it got switched because it was very clear that React was getting a lot more energy with the license thing. Yeah. Oh, okay, I didn't know about that. So can you say more about that?
Well, React had a very restricted change. Actually, they changed it for the WordPress. But I opened it up so that was the deciding factor. Dries wanted it.
Oh, that's not good.
Outcry.
So now, I think we can say that probably within a year, React will ship. Or as an option, maybe a checkbox somewhere. But if all of our admin pages are being done in React, we're starting with logging page first, watch up, and then they're going to move to other ones. Because we need to overhaul our UI. Then why not use the library that everyone else is using?
Yes.
Let me ask a quick follow-up question.
My understanding was there were 2 reasons why we're doing that. One is just our UI needs modernizing. So that is a graphical. That's part of it, but not specific to React. And then the second reason is a richer interfaces if you use JavaScript combined with your HTML. You may not necessarily have to form a whole page redraw just to show something new. You can just show it with React component. So I think it's richer interfaces plus overhauling to make it modern.
Did you have something?
Yeah, I was curious if you, for SEO reasons, how you integrated React apps that you add with site map?
A lot of the work that we've done with React is on the user end, or in the case of the library search, not necessarily something that you would want to cache or visit. You can update the URL so you can hit it later, but you absolutely can use the URLs, but in terms of adding it to the sitemap, we're generally using it for single page applications.
You're just returning data to those paths.
Yes. Yes.
I was, really, using search. I work in a library, and that's a huge thing. And I never react to this as red. It's very, seems like great solution. Yeah, but it's sorry, not like usually solar sort of. They're like, were there decision making reasons to discard solar?
I think it's really just to increase that first, the speed to the first, page. So you can start bringing in data very quickly.
I didn't maybe properly demo the search, but I never will. Oh, here we go. So you're really only returning the first 10 results, and then you're scrolling down and going and getting more. I hope I have, okay, great. And then we're adding a new feature where it will go and fetch the absolute most available data that it can possibly get. Does that
answer your question?
Yeah, I mean, my institution is searching.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, thank you very, very much.